Hi everybody, it's Pt1's Griniflix Adventure 8 and welcome to another video. It's an exciting video, it's exciting times. I recently did a video on the new 70 series that is coming out in 2024. Yeah, it's exciting. And in that lineup of the Toyota Land Cruiser 70 series, there will be a troop carrier. And it's going to be a combination of the best of Hilux and the best of the 70 series in my opinion, because it's got the 2.8 litre automatic engine from the Hilux in the Troopy. Fantastic. Watch that video, you'll see why I like it so much. But now that spurred me on to work out and design a new camper around the new model 70 series. Here it is, the preliminary designs. Let's talk about it. The Toyota Land Cruiser Troop Carrier, for me, is the ultimate adventure vehicle. I remember as a kid, I got my first four-wheel drive, a Subaru, just a Subaru station wagon four-wheel drive, and that's going back in the 80s. Can you believe it? Shows you my age, I suppose. But anyway, it's the Subaru was fantastic to get out and about, but I always saw these Land Cruisers, the 70 series, the troop carriers and the workmates and all the different other versions, the station wagons, and I always dreamt about having a Toyota, but they were always so expensive I could never afford it. But I guess with time, hard work, getting your financials under control, I've had numerous four-wheel drives over the years. From the Subaru to Holden Jackaroo to Mitsubishi Pajero, Nissan Patrol, Land Rover Discovery, and eventually got the Land Cruiser Troop Carrier. In which case, actually my first Troop Carrier was the one that I have right now, which is a 2010 model. So that's 13 years old. It's got almost 200,000 kilometres on it. Most of that, I would say, would be off-road, dirt, Central Australia, so really harsh conditions. And I've made numerous videos. So there's even a playlist of the adventure journeys that I've done on my channel. So the Simpson Desert, the Canning Stock Route, the Gun Barrel Highway, Cape York, all over the place, with and without a trailer as well. So even the camper trailers, I've tried numerous over the years, and the one that I've had the longest, which I've recently sold, it's gone to a new owner. That was the toughest, lightest four-wheel drive off-road camper trailer on this planet, and it survived all the journeys. Yes, of course, there's repairs that have to be done along the way, as there is with your four-wheel drive, but if you're prepared, you can continue the journey and record the adventure and share it with others, which I've been doing on my channel. So I've had a lot of joy out of the 2010 Land Cruiser Troop Carrier, and it has evolved over the years. My original intent of my Land Cruiser was to have passengers as far as my Adventure 8 tours, and that worked well. And that was the reason for the current design. But it's time to change. Going forward, I will do private tours for people that wish to come and join me. And particularly if people want to drive their own vehicle, or if they want me to organise a vehicle for them, then that's what I'll be doing as well. So which means the main vehicles that I have in my journeys will now be vehicles that cater for two people, either two singles or a couple. So that brings me to designing the next troop carrier, and I'm thinking to design it exactly like that, for two people, for a couple or two singles, to be able to go on an adventure and have this ultimate adventure vehicle for them to go and experience that adventure together. Okay, in addition to that, I've had the Hilux with the Allpowers canopy camper conversion on the back of the Hilux. So that's a 5-seater twin cab, and again, there's videos, there's a playlist in my channel of the whole building process, the design mechanism, the philosophy behind that design, and also the different components that went into the Hilux. And having both vehicles and going camping and different type of journeys with both vehicles has really given me appreciation for what really works and what doesn't work, and what combinations there needs to be between the two different designs. Of course, I'm speaking from my perspective, and if you're watching my channel and you're viewing my videos, then maybe there's some components of my philosophy to adventure travel and four-wheel drive off-road, etc., and that you might relate to, and therefore you can sort of, maybe get some ideas, or this might benefit your thought or your thinking with regards to what could work for you or not. So I have done some work, and the way I've done this is I've compiled a whole bunch of information. Needless to say, I had a look at the Allcab website, so to see the camper conversions that they have. I'm convinced on the Allcab gear. It is high quality, it really works, it's tough, it's durable. And I've got the Allcab hard shell rooftop tent on the Troop Carrier right now. And obviously on the Hilux I've got the canopy camper. Now, the good thing about the two is that it gives you, or it has given me, an appreciation for either climbing on the roof, and I've really changed the design of the Land Cruiser Troop Carrier so that you can climb on the roof, have a landing, organise yourself, and then get into the tent rather than have to stand on a ladder or organise yourself. So that works really well, but you still have to get on the roof. There is an element of danger of being 2 meters in the air, and if you fall off or something goes wrong, you can create a lot of damage. So there is an argument not to have to climb on the roof on a regular basis. And that's where the Hilux comes into it with the canopy camper. The fact that you can go inside the back door of the camper and then get into bed from inside. So you're not climbing on top of the roof. Brilliant. And the Troop Carrier roof conversion is that concept, same concept. You can go in through the back doors, and then you have a little trap door, you open that up, it's assuming that the rooftop tent is already open, little trap door, you can get in. You don't have to climb on top of the roof to get in and out of bed. Yeah, so it's that basic concept of combining the canopy camper of the Hilux and that concept together with the toughness of the Troop Carrier, combining the two and taking some of those ideas that really work in the Hilux and the way I've designed that together with the things that work really well with the Troopy and combining them together. I've created some spreadsheets with some diagrams, and I can share those with you as well. And then I've superimposed those spreadsheets into a diagram of, in this case here, it's a very old, I'm not sure what year it is, but it's probably 1970s, 80s, 90s, whatever, 1990s. Troop Carrier. The basic shell is the same, so I'm anticipating that what works here is going to be working in the 2024 version as well. You might well say, do we have to wait till 2024 to see whether this new design is going to work or not? Well, no, there is a stepping stone in between. What I'm thinking of doing is actually stripping out my current Troop Carrier, the 2010 model. Everything behind the front seats basically strip out and start again with the new design, which is here. And I won't do a rooftop conversion on the current Troop Carrier, but what I will do is basically fit out the inside and just leave the roof rack and the hard shell Allcab rooftop tent as it is. And that way I can test the innards of the camper before I do the roof conversion of the new 2024 version that will come out in about a year's time, or become available, I suppose, in about a year's time. So that's a plan. Alright, so let's have a closer look at this spreadsheet. and I'll go through all the different components. Happy to share this stuff with you if that's of interest to you. Just contact me through adventure8.com.au. I could always send you the spreadsheets and you can sort of muck about with them yourself with the designs, if that helps. Needless to say, there will be some components in here. If there are suppliers out there that you want me to incorporate some of your products or designs into this design, then do contact me through adventure8.com.au. More than happy to have the discussion and see how it might work in this layout. Alright, so let's have a closer look at this spreadsheet, and we'll talk about some of the components that I'm planning to incorporate. There is one fundamental change that I've incorporated in my Land Cruisers Bold and Hilux over the years, which I'll definitely be putting into the new design as well. And that is, rather than going for a dedicated second battery system within the car, I'll be going for power stations. Basically a box that incorporates all the necessary electronics and a battery that converts 12 volts into 240 volts, stores the power that can be then drive 12 volt systems or 240 volt systems. And it's portable, so these boxes can be just taken out of the car and taken into the home and used as backup supply for your home as well. Power stations. So I am affiliated with iTECHWORLD, an Australian lithium battery power station, camper conversion power systems, and I've been using them for over a year now, and they are fantastic. I've got a number of different power stations that I've used, and one of the latest ones that I've been using is the PS2000, which is a 2000 watt unit. And what I'm planning to do is actually design the layout inside so I can actually have two of these units within the car. They don't have to be these large units, 2000 watts each, that's 4000 watts, so it gives you heaps of power. You know, whether you're camping for a few days, you have enough power to drive your fridges, you charge your camera gear, enough power to give you heating during the night. And with the rooftop conversion, to be able to have heating as well means you can be camping in the snow and still be having a heater, either driving your electric blanket or just keeping the air warm, and have a really comfortable night and still have enough power for the morning or whatever. So yes, so there's going to be no shortage of power, and it's going to be power stations that I'll be using. The great thing about being an affiliate of iTECHWORLD is that they've given me a discount code which I can pass on to you as viewers and subscribers to my channel. The other great thing about these discount codes from iTECHWORLD is it's a discount code on top of the discounts that they provide from time to time on their website. Yes, that's an extra discount. It's not an alternative discount, it's an extra discount on top of whatever discounts on their website. So whether you shop on their website, whether you go into their store, whether you give them a call on the phone, you use Adventure 8 discount code and you'll get an extra 5% off your total price. That is a big saving. So I hope you can use that discount code. So there are the details there, Adventure 8 discount code on their website. And check out all the deals that are available, power stations, or if you still want to actually have a dedicated system bolted into your car or into your camper, they have the batteries, they have charging systems, solar blankets, solar panels, everything you basically need. Alright, so let's have a look at this this diagram here. So the way I've done this, I've actually created a spreadsheet, and I'll come back to this, and then I've superimposed the spreadsheet basically onto this diagram. So you can see here I've got the rooftop conversion on the troop carrier here, and I've just drawn here how the trapdoor bed mechanism works. So you can have this bed here down, or you can take it up like this. It's on struts, hydraulic struts, so it'll just stay up there. When the bed is up and the trapdoor is up, then there's full headroom here, full standing room within the troop carrier. You can bring the bed down and you can have the trapdoor up, and then you can operate that way, so you can stand and get changed before you hop into bed or hop out of bed as well. Alright, let's have a look in greater detail at the spreadsheet. So we'll go onto the spreadsheet and then we'll talk about all these components here. Now before I do that, just from the back here you can see that you can open up the barn doors, the small one and then the large one. You probably need to open up both doors to hop in and out. You can see there's this passageway that goes all the way through the troop carrier with gear on the right and gear on the left. I'm designing it so that you can basically sit here with the top either open or closed, the rooftop either open or closed, and still sit in there and operate within the troop carrier as well. There will be cushions here, and theoretically there will be a bench that can be placed across here, so you can either have a single bed here. In an emergency where conditions are so bad that you can't actually lift up the tent, you can probably squeeze 2 people on here. It'd be about 800 to 850 wide here. So yes, it's good for 1 person and really comfortable, cozy 2 people here. But normally you would have the sleeping up here. So if there are 2 single people, you could have 1 person sleeping here, the other person sleeping up here once the rooftop is open. So here's a spreadsheet. So we've got, okay, the back of the car is here, so looking from the top now, and the front of the car is here. So front wheels, back wheels, driver's seat here on the right, and passenger seat here on the left. So these are the basic modules without actually going into great amount of detail. And I'll just explain these modules. Okay, well, looking maybe from the back doors here, we can see the height is about 450, which is about the same as the Engel 40 litre fridge there. And then if you put some cushions on there, and if you were to have a bed there, then it would be basically the same height as a fridge. If these cushions would be in 2 pieces basically, so that when the center section's not there, then it would just be acting as a backrest here, in which case it's going to be roughly the same height as the Engel fridge. The Engel fridge will have its own cover on there as well, so it's got basically a soft seat. You can sit on this side or on that side. If we're looking from the top here, when because the trapdoor is about 600 in depth, and then the rest of the bed covers basically this entire area with the rooftop conversion. So if you've got the rooftop bed down, then basically it will come to about there, and then the trapdoor 600 mils. So this is, I think, about 400, 450 or thereabouts. So 600 point would be about there. If you lift up the trapdoor, then you could be sitting here on the left or sitting on top of the fridge on the right, talking to your partner. Long the short of it. So that's going to be pretty straightforward. And then there'll be storage here underneath the bench, and again all that after workout. There is a wheel well there which takes up some space, so you lose some space there, as there is on this side as well. So the concept is the fridge at the back here, and the reason for that is so that you can access the fridge from the back doors without hopping inside the car. A lot of camping is about living outside, and what I found over the years that most of the time, 99% of the time, is outside. However, there is one occasion where you want to be inside out of the elements, and that's the advantage of having the troop carrier and inside access as well to do everything that you need to do. We're talking about fridges. What worked really well on my last trip was having a second fridge. I had a little 15 litre fridge that was behind the driver's seat in the Land Cruiser. So I'm planning to incorporate that in this new design as well, so that either the passenger can reach over and get a drink while you're driving, or you stop and reach over and get it. The other advantage of having a second fridge is it builds in some redundancy. So if your main fridge fails for whatever reason, then at least you've got a backup fridge to give you at least some opportunity to save some food, keep it cool. and or you just keep it as a drinks fridge and a food fridge, or you can operate the Engel fridge as a freezer or the small fridge as a freezer as well. So it gives you really two options as well as redundancy. So that's I think really important for this new design. I was talking about the iTECHWORLD power stations, and I'm keeping a section here on the right hand side for potentially two iTECHWORLD PS2 2000 watt power stations, one there, and how they will be configured or connected, that's yet to be decided. But there's enough air gap there to enable good ventilation when I'm charging or discharging these power stations. As far as water is concerned, I'm planning 2 taps. One thing that works really well with the Troop Carrier right now is you can open up the back small barn door, and I've got an access to a tap straight away so that you can either wash your hands or fill up your water bottle quite easily, and any excess water just goes onto the dirt so you don't get the water inside. That works so well. I love that idea. But also, if you need to be operating inside, then this tap with the barn doors closed is not easy access. So I want to incorporate a tap here and a small sink as well, so you can have full water facilities for cooking inside the camper as well. I will be attaching a Allcab awning on there, 270-degree awning, which stretches all the way around to the back as well, so that gives you nice cover, and that will be on the left hand side. I will also incorporate the Allcab shower cubicle so that you've got some privacy to shower as well. So that means I have to incorporate some sort of a shower system. Which then leads me on to the topic of water, how to actually carry water. Rather than going to a dedicated water tank, what I've always gone for is jerry cans, water jerry cans. And the reason for that is that you can have the basic system that you have. In this case here, I'm incorporating 3 water jerry cans, that's 60 litres. And then you can have additional jerry cans as you need for special occasions, depending on the trip as well. And the idea is to basically have a system where you can just either top up the water cans with a hose from outside through the window, and or you can basically lift out the jerry can, take it to where the water source is, fill it up and bring it back here as well. The idea is to connect to any one of these jerry cans independently, so if for some reason you've got contaminated water, you can restrict that contaminated water to one can. And it also means that you don't have slopping water everywhere. You can also control how you keep the levels in these cans. You can add extra jerry cans of fuel if necessary, and they can be stored within the passageway here as well. There will be storage underneath these sections here, but basically all this is a flat bed that can have access from the top. The whole design of this is yet to be decided, but basically that's a basic concept. At the back here, when you open up the barn doors, I'm planning either a drop-down table so that you've got so when you're cooking outside you can have a drop-down table, or it might be a pull-out table somehow. I'm not sure how that's going to work at this stage, but that's a concept as well. Otherwise, if you are inside and you're cooking, then the cooking area will be here, and access to kitchen components and everything, that's yet to be decided as well. But basically that's as simple and straightforward as it is. You can see how all these components basically fit in the car, and it's basically just going to the window level. So I'm not planning to change these windows in any way. If anything, put on some fly screens so that you can have ventilation, as well as having these windows open as necessary, either for cooking or just for ventilation while you're sleeping in there, either sleeping down in the bottom bed here or sleeping in the top bed as well. There will be, my view on adventure travel is to travel light, but also travel with soft luggage, and that can be thrown in at different areas around the car as necessary. I will incorporate tie down points everywhere, so even with soft luggage that can be all tied down so it doesn't move around. Particularly important in places like the Simpson Desert where you're going over sand dunes and having yeehaw bumps all over the place. And the car is moving around all the time, so if you've got anything loose that's not tied down, that's going to bounce and annoy you like anything. So everything gets tied down, everything is locked away into appropriate place, all the kitchen stuff and everything. But that's going down to real detail, which we'll cover off at some future stage in other videos. This is just gives you the broad concepts. Well, I hope you found this video interesting. Do you like some of the ideas? Do you agree with the way I approach this, making everything lightweight, modular in design, economical, portable, and recycling components as much as possible, of course, or just to reduce the costs. But the most important thing is having that right system in place. So irrespective of cost, if you have to spend a little bit more in some areas to get the right components to give you that the best possible experience, then that's what you need to do. And that's particularly with the power systems, and that's the reason why I've chosen iTECHWORLD as my major supplier for that. If you need something from iTECHWORLD, then just use that discount code Adventure8. But anyway, I hope it's been useful. If you've got ideas, if you're a supplier, you would like me to incorporate some of your ideas into this design, then do contact me at adventure8.com.au. If you'd like to have a copy of this spreadsheet so you can muck about with it yourself and help at least get your design started, then just reach out to me as well through adventure8.com.au. Thanks again for watching. Do subscribe, press notifications to be notified when the next video is out. There'll be more that'll be coming out on this design once I start to strip out my current Land Cruiser Troop Carrier. Then I'll be filming that and I'll be making some videos around it as well, so you can see what's going out. I'll actually see how much weight I can get out, and then start to see how much actually goes back in and weight. And so maybe there's a lot of weight saving there that will be achieved as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks. Cheers. Bye.